If you do need hydrogen, I do have 3 full tanks on the Terminus. Oh, good. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Greetings everybody and welcome back to some more Space Engineers. Are we lost? And yes, I think we are lost. If you've been keeping up with our stream, you'll find that, well, we were on an asteroid somewhere and we've had to move because we got sold out. The base got sold out from underneath us, and then we got notified that we're going to get attacked by pirates, so we decided we'd just leave. And we found this rogue planet, or planetoid, maybe you'd call it. I don't know. It's this tiny little thing. It looks like a moon, but as you can see, though, we've got ice on it. So we've decided we'd move here and would sort of build a more established base here and see if we can get ourselves back in a position to sort of get back out of deep space here and head back towards the colonized systems, for want of a better term. So that said, yeah, we've only just arrived here in the Terminus here. This gigantic, big, amazing ship here that Mr. Luna has built. And Zaraki's commandeered vessel he had repaired, and that's where half our trouble came on, because he made some deals with pirates to get it repaired, and, well, they've just backfired on us. And my little skink down here, that little scout ship. So, as you can see, we have basically, well, we've only basically gotten here. So, well, with that, we'll get on with the show and see where we go from this episode. Alrighty, introduction's all done and completed, and hopefully Zaraki will wake up from his sleeping chamber at some stage and will join us. But until then, as I was saying, Luna, I think we need to start building out and fleshing out a bit more of a, I won't say so much of a bit more of a base, but I suppose it's, for want of a better term, that's what we're looking at having to do, I guess, is...
Do you have those new turret spotlights?
Yes, I should have.
Because that might be nice to be able to see in the pit here, so we can see what we're building.
Alright, well, give me a second, I just need to... Oh, okay, I did. I hit the right buttons for the wrong reasons, or was it the wrong buttons for the right reasons? I have no idea. Production... Oh, yeah, that's my problem. I keep forgetting. I need to go to the Terminus if I want stuff now, because all the resources are up here.
Don't forget to grab a hydrogen and an oxygen bottle.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I was going to do. I was actually going to make up some more level 2, 3, whatever, tiers. Weapons. Tools! Far out. Brain's not working today.
That's fine.
Oh, English? What's English?
No one will know.
Yeah, exactly. No one will know. Okay, where do we want to put these things? Because if I place them, you'll have no problems welding them up. So you tell me where you'd like them, and let's have a look. Spotlights, aren't they?
Yep, I think they might be under turrets now. Who knows?
Oh yeah, they might be. Autocannon turrets, NPC turret control block. Light. Ah, here we go. Searchlight, they call it.
Yep.
Alright, like I said, you decide where you actually want them.
I think actually, right here on Zaraki's ship might not be a bad idea. On
Right
this
there.
solid, that block there, and then the other one on the other side.
Pointing up, down, basically, yes?
Yeah, they're a turret, so it doesn't really matter which way they're facing. We can face them a different direction later.
And on the other side the same, yes?
Yep. And for some reason, some of the blocks on Zaraki's ship are deconstructed.
Really?
Yeah, like if you head down, like underneath where you put the spotlight in, like just a couple blocks below it, like
Yeah.
this one and this one,
I
everything
know.
was all welded up.
And there's another one up here. It hasn't potentially taken damage, has it? It's got 100
No, because
steel. Yeah, no, it has. It's taken damage. What was being ground?
Oh.
This is missing metal grids. It's got the full base 100 steel plates and 11 out of the 12 top plates.
That's weird.
This one's got 4 of the base steel plates and 1 of the upper plates. That's it. So I'd say they've actually taken damage.
Yeah, but they're
No,
like
this
ground down damage. It's
Yeah, no,
weird.
this one's the same because this has got the 100 base plates, 11 of the 12 upper plates, and no metal grids.
Yeah. Yet this one is. Oh, weird.
Unfortunately, whilst they're welded up, they're only partially welded up because I don't have any plates. I mean, metal grids on me.
Yeah, I think we got shot at because there's some scrap metal up here.
Yeah, no, this is the same. So that's alright. I've just welded them up. They look as if they're welded up, but they don't have the metal grids in them. So anyway. I suppose those lights are controllable, aren't they, to direction them?
Yeah, I tried to set them to the way they follow allies.
Characters on. Friends on. Label target locking on. What is this one? Target options. I'd have to get onto a console. Let me have a look. Enable target locking. How weird.
Yeah, I have it only targeting characters, and it's
And it's not...
And friendlies.
And friendlies, and it's not following us. Yeah.
No.
Alright, that's something we're going to have to set up, is either a survival kit or a med bay. Out where we can very easily get at it. Because it's annoying having to go back inside a ship to recharge.
Yep. And we're also going to need to get the Terminus hooked in, so that way we have access to the hydrogen that's on board for refilling stuff.
Yep. Okay, where's the connectors on the Terminus here? Right up the top here.
Way up at the top.
No, that's fine, because I'm thinking if we... I'm just going to push one of these out, and I'm going to connect up Skink to it.
Mm-hmm.
Because then that gives access to the refinery and assembler on the Skink.
Yep.
For production.
And I
based
think...
on, as well as access to the resources on the Terminus at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. And I think as long as I keep the load light, I think the Kodiak will work. Because it's hydrogen and ion.
Yeah. Because, yeah, this way we can make use of the production facilities of the Skink with the resources on the Terminus.
Yep.
And be able to just go to the Terminus and access production. Now, I hope I don't suffer from phantom forces like we did last time, which I probably will, so I'm going to have to probably turn off inertial dampeners once I connect up. Yeah, I was going to, so I have to remember. I'm going to have to remember if I disconnect, I'm going to have to turn on inertial dampers.
Ooh. That's scary.
A little bit. It shouldn't actually be suffering from that sort of phantom forces, I wouldn't have thought, but it is.
Yeah, it's pistons.
I know. But you weren't having that trouble. Oh, it's because it's... See, it's because it's two ship grids connected via pistons, whereas your ship grid connected to a static base on pistons wasn't having that problem.
I was having a little bit of that problem where my thrusters were constantly firing, so I had to turn off my thrusters. Otherwise,
well, actually,
power.
That probably would work the same, actually, if I turn the thrusters off and turn inertial dampeners back on.
Yeah, because then that way you'll remember, because you have to turn your engines on, because they'll be visibly off.
Yes, exactly. So if I do that, and then remember to do that, a connected ship has taken control, inertial dampeners on. Excellent. So it'll be a case of thrusters on, disconnect, back off. You'll all in one very quick movement.
Yep.
Okay, well that should give us now access to production facilities.
That's the thing, is I can see the little red target on you every now and then, but
the turret itself is not moving?
No. Not unless I take control of it.
Oh, does there need to be a turret control somewhere on the grid?
No, it's a turret.
Oh, hang on. Did you just take control of this one?
Yep, I took control of it.
It's pretty freaky to see it move, but... Oh no! Okay. Now, I'll make sure I don't have admin privileges turned on. I don't. But I'm just going to start fleshing out some of this platform. Welding it up later. We'll worry about
Alright,
that later.
I manually aimed them.
Yeah, that's cool. That in itself is useful.
Yeah. I was thinking those would be very handy because, like, I have my side-facing spotlights on the Terminus.
Yep.
Having a pair of those at the front instead of the solid ones, so I can actually like see things, would be nice.
And then target them if they're in the wrong position. Yeah, I'd like to change. I might even change the one on the skink over the light on top of that. Though that's one of our deep space variants. So
yeah. Well, you could always swap it out for a custom turret.
Yep.
Because I know I'm gonna put 2 of those things on the bridge, and probably slap a couple in the upper area as well. A couple of the custom turret.
Well, yeah, build
controllers.
a custom turret with this deep space spotlight on it.
Yep. And I'm also gonna install probably like the 4 Gatlings that have the biggest view, which are the ones that are on the top. The 4 on the 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom.
Yep.
I'm probably gonna replace those with 2 custom autocannon turrets.
Oh yeah.
So that way I have lots of rapid firing, heavy hitting something.
Heavy hitting something, I like that.
Yep. Because I made a custom turret that's quad, so it has 4 of those autocannons. So that would be a lot of autocannons.
Exactly, yeah.
Ship. I renamed the ship.
Cool.
It is now called Zareki Shuttle.
Okay, that's cool. As long as it doesn't have the word encounter in its name. Because that way it won't get confused with cleanup. Alright, now. Still not sure how I mean, this is the right level. This is the base floor level.
Mm-hmm.
And at the moment we've got missing blocks underneath your thrusters here on the Terminus, but don't really want to put them back in at this point. So we'll just work around them.
I am docking horizontally to the Terminus. This is very odd. Forward thrust is kind of insane, but the stopping thrust is... leaves a little bit to be desired.
So yeah, like I was saying, I'm just building a basic platform. This will be the floor of the new base at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Just as a starting point, we can then flesh out where we're going to put things from there. But yeah, using the main central hull here is maybe a power core area might work. I think that's what Zareki was saying, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
I
was also debating whether or not we could possibly even use it as a area to land the Terminus, since she has to land on her rear end.
Yeah.
But having it be the main power core area is not a bad idea.
I'm thinking what we'll do is we'll actually create a dedicated landing pad out of blast blocks, because it's got to come on its tail. That way we don't have problem with blocks being deleted.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm thinking a combination of blast blocks and angle blocks, kind of like how the space shuttle, when it takes off, it has a big open area that the engines go down into.
Yeah.
So they don't damage anything.
Exactly. You just have to be very precise with landing it.
Yeah, and that's fine. I could probably install a camera in the back here somewhere.
Yeah, you
right
probably
there.
could, between the 2 thrusters, yeah. And what do we need? We need a 2x2 area for the thrust wash.
Yep.
An empty 2x2 area separated by 2 blocks. So
yep,
that's a pretty easy criteria to meet.
Oh yeah.
Just grab a whole stack more of them.
And I think I might get to work actually repairing Zaraki's ship here, because there's a bunch of needy blocks here.
Yeah. And I'm just making up 3 of the top tier tools.
Oh, nice. Did you check inventory to make sure we didn't have any already made?
I don't believe we have any tier 3 stuff. I think the highest I saw was tier 2. But it doesn't matter, we can always recycle them if we do.
The thing about being in a gravity well, though, is you burn through a lot more hydrogen flying around.
That's very true, yes. Not as much as on a 1G planet or whatever, but
No, yeah.
you still do. I think I should extend this end here as well, so that when I drop it down, it will go down to the crater floor as opposed to halfway down the side of the crater bowl. I'm getting a little bit of a, I won't call it lag, just a little bit of delay in between clicking and actual placements.
Yeah.
It's only a fraction of a second, but when you're trying to place things rapidly, you notice it.
Yep.
Okay, so we'll do is we'll push this out. Oh, another 5 blocks maybe. Six.
I almost wish I'd designed that thing to actually be a tail lander, as in like how gravity reacts to it.
True. Although, with that said, with the landing cockpit that you've got, it makes it a lot easier.
It does.
Yeah, I need to find somewhere to recharge. There we go. I'm actually going through energy faster than I'm going through hydrogen.
Yep.
Well, Zaraki's about. Hello, Zaraki. I can see you watching me. I'm feeling as if I'm being stalked. Twitch has revealed your secrets. Third, I think I might build a vertical miner so I can go and get some ice.
It's a good idea.
Okay, I'm happy with the extension to the platform. Let me put it that way.
Oh, good.
It's a little wider, and I've extended it this end so that it goes right to over the edge of the central core of the crater, right to the ground. Just throwing down some extra support struts.
All right. Before you head off, I will show you kind of what I'm doing right now.
Oh no, I've got to build the thing first.
Yep.
Here we go. There's some support struts, and I'll throw down some support struts at this end as well to make it look balanced.
Oh, fun. They broke control panels.
Did they?
Yeah, if you come over to the Terminus real quick where the solar panels are. So we could get production going. I put a little control panel right up there.
Let me just get rid of this thing out of my hand. There we go.
But oh, never mind. I was selecting it and it said...
That it wasn't selected?
That it wasn't connected to a grid. It was very weird.
Oh, yeah.
A ship has been disconnected from terminal.
Okay, that's...
Yeah, if you stand too far away.
Huh, how weird. But not unsurprising. Oh. Yeah, it was because the scrap... Oh no, that was from the... You destroying the platform when you landed. There's scrap down here on the ground.
Ah.
Yeah, like I said, but you need to make it look as if it's kind of balanced. Yeah, that's right. I was Zareki. I wasn't that on the ball too. I stayed up with Mira way too late playing the new Arc server last night. So consequently, I woke up about half an hour before we need to start streaming too. So I'm actually, which is an hour ago now. So I'm actually only barely starting to wake up. I'll admit it.
And there's the place to charge now.
Oh, perfect.
And heal.
Perfecto. Perfecto. There we go. Alright, so yes, I'm going to build just a small grid vertical mining ship. It's going to be fun though. Just trying to think about the easiest way to do this.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me.
Absolutely not.
They made an... They are calling it the passenger seat offset.
Oh, yeah.
But it's literally just the seat is now a 2x2x3.
Seriously?
But they call it an offset.
An offset. Far out. Can we spell moron? Hello, Zareki.
Yes, we can spell moron.
Keen.
It's called Zraki.
No, it's not. It's called Keen.
No, that's hopeless moron.
Oh, okay. There's a difference, is there?
Yes.
And they also...
One can be fixed, the other can't.
And they also changed the passenger seat, so they are now only 2 blocks instead of 3 long.
Far out.
So it's not a 3x3x3 anymore. It's a 2x3x3. Unless it's the offset, then it's a 2x2x3.
1x2.
By one
in
by
every
one.
direction.
I know I'm saying a lot
wait,
of numbers, and both of you guys just woke up. But it's...
I was thinking small grid. 1x2 for small grid.
Yep, that's what it is. That's the small grid. They changed the passenger seats for small grid.
In their infinite wisdom.
Lunar, the other thingy majiggy that I've been working on getting set up is finally being set up.
Oh, nice.
The other server. Oh, awesome.
Yes, because of well, for one, that particular friend lives in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
They just got hit with a cold snap, more or less. At least for them, it's a
yeah.
cold snap.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And factor in that he's been busting his ass from or working from home, doing his techie jobby stuffs.
Yeah, that's always
He's
fun.
just been super busy,
Yeah.
and he keeps going, I'm sorry, and I'm just like, dude,
Chill
if I
pill.
ask you to spin me, if I ask you to spin me up a server, I know it's gonna get done when you have the time.
Exactly.
I am not demanding. I am just requesting.
Yeah, it's like if every time I've asked him to spin me up a server, he has always gotten it done. So when I ask him to spin me up a server, yeah, usually he gets it done fairly fast. But again, work, possibly running or not having power because of the cold,
Mm-hmm.
and health problems on top of it all.
Oh,
I'm just like, dude, just chill out. I'm not
Yeah.
too fucking worried about it.
Exactly.
It'll get done when it gets done.
That's right. There, I know the sort of person you're talking about, and they panic. We've got an assertive guppy 5 kilometers out.
Caledon, did you see this side of my ship?
By the way, I am joining you all from
Whoa.
my captain's bed because I am that awake. Why do you have part of your ship not built or welded up?
It appears as if we've been attacked at some stage, which is
Yeah, because
really,
your
really
ship was
weird.
in the same state. I was in the process of repairing it.
Yeah, you had some blocks that had been. They look like they've been ground, but they haven't. They've been shot. Like, as you can see, it's if you look at my stream, it's got the full 100 base steel. It's got no metal grids, and it's only got 11 out of the 12 upper steel, and they're all the same.
Oh wow! Look at the
I wonder
back
if it,
by the
I
tanks.
wonder if they had prior damage, and with the update, that's just their way of correcting it.
No, I
Possibly.
know what it is.
Hmm.
They changed the model so you actually need the grids to finish the block, and these blocks did not have all the grids in them.
No, that doesn't work.
Like those right there, those conveyor ports, those on my ship.
I'll show you. That doesn't work because if we put the rest of the steel plates into here, it still seals off.
Oh, weird. I don't know then. But yeah, look at all that happened near the tanks too.
Yeah, I know, down in here. But there is also some scrap metal on the ground down here, which I just assumed was from your thruster damage.
Yeah. How much
I
is
mean,
it?
it's in the right
No.
spot for it.
It's in the right spot for it. The stupid thing is, guys, the server has been shut down since last week.
And that scrap was just those blocks because it is
Yeah.
not enough scrap metal from
Exactly.
these blocks.
And
So-
like I said, the server has been shut down since last week. Unless the server spun up in order to update and then spun back down again without my control, which is possible. The host may need to spin the server up in order to apply an update, and it does auto-apply updates. So it's possible that it automatically spun the server up, applied the update, and then shut the server down, put it back into its pre-state. So that is highly possible. And that would actually account for why previously when we've logged in, things aren't how we left it off, even though I shut the server down at the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I'm not going to complain too badly. It's a small price to pay, really.
No, yeah.
And I mean,
I'm
I could
fine with
always
that.
have rolled it back to the manual save if we were too concerned about it. Exactly. That's what I felt as well.
Oh, and just so you know, Zaraki, I hooked your new salvaged shuttle to the back of the Terminus.
Yeah.
I saw that.
There was a situation where
Yeah. All this got deleted.
yeah,
And I believe I was the one that inadvertently did it. And it was because I selected everything with the word encounter to get rid of all the encounter stuff to clean up. And your shuttle was still named Encounter Shuttle. And since it was locked down to the main platform and we're all connected to the main platform. By removing that one item, it took everything connected to it out. So we had to roll back to the save. Yeah, it is kind of funny when you think about it, but it's just weird. It was locked down with landing gear, so why should it have removed what it was locked to? Should have just taken that thing off, but it didn't. It took everything out, and it took all of our ships as well, because we were all also connected to it, either through connect or landing gear.
Yeah.
So I just rolled back to the save that was like 5 minutes before that happened, and we were good to go from there. So
No worries.
Yep. Oh, and I made sure that when we did that, I logged back on and saved your shuttle because it was sitting floating above your ship. Yeah. So logged in, saved it, docked it to the back of the Terminus. It actually looks good.
Draco, go lay down, bub.
All right. We've also put a couple of the new turret searchlights on the side of your ship too.
On the side of my ship?
Yeah. Pointing down into the
hole. I got flying searchlights.
Yes. And there's also some tier 3 tools in the cargo container here, in case you need them.
Yeah. I gave up on having good tools.
Yeah, I know. But they're there.
Every time I get good tools, I chunk, I die, and I can't find my fucking backpack.
Yeah, I know.
So I just gave up on tools.
Yeah, well, they're there if you want them. Nails. Well, small grid conveyors. What am I doing? Small grid conveyors. Yeah, we gotta laugh. It's ridiculous.
It's like every time I look at tools, it's like, maybe I should upgrade. But then I'm like,
I'm just gonna lose
maybe
them.
I shouldn't upgrade because they're just gonna get lost in 5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
9 times out of 10, I'm chasing after a enemy ship in my freaking suit. So yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Although usually it's just like a oxygen and hydrogen tank that I lose because, well, I mean, we can make like thousands of those and not give a damn.
Yeah, exactly.
Tools, they're kind of a little bit more expensive.
Yeah, they are, aren't they?
So I usually take low-end tools for that shit.
Yep.
Okay, let's do it this way. Cargo container.
And Caledon, I got a connector set up on the Terminus down here.
Oh, down the bottom?
Yep.
Oh, sweet. So I can pull from there. Excellent, thank you.
Yep.
Come on, you love flying up to the top.
Well, I don't have a problem with it, but...
And the batteries are almost fully charged because the last light keeps flicking on and off.
Nice. Like noise. I think that'll work. No, I don't want to turn them off. Gee. Okay, so we'll do it that way. 1, 2, and then that. And then
energy low.
another one of these. That should work actually. I'll make it maybe a 3x3.
But with this edition now, Galadin, when we're in space, you can actually dock. The skink can dock with the back end of the Terminus now.
Every time you say skink, I think skunk.
I just think of Dr. Seuss. Skink, skank, skunk.
Exactly. Two of them. Another one of them. Somewhere over here is another one of them.
But there have been a couple of quality of life things put into the server, Renner. Like, for example, we'll be able to find each other on the world map now.
Oh, nice.
It'll also keep track of places we've been. So that'll help narrow down what buildings we've already done full clears of.
Oh, good.
But it should be up tomorrow, or by tomorrow-ish. Right now he's doing the he's bringing the server online, but it's got to build all the cities and whatnot.
Yep.
So peanut butter sauce.
You really do like your peanut butter sauce, don't you?
Isn't that
The
just
irony
creepy?
is I actually can't stand peanut butter.
That is a bit ironic.
It's just so weird seeing a floating. It's not floating, but it's just so weird seeing that big tower coming up out of a crater.
It looks really cool, actually. That's why I took the screenshot of it last time. Okay, we do need to go to that one. Come here. This is not pretty, but it'll be functional. We can greeblify it later.
Did someone say Greeble?
I did. Later.
Oh.
Serious.
But I told him that we wanted to keep it as vanilla as possible. I have no real problem with some quality of life stuff, but I guess there were also some mods that dedicated server owners run to help stabilize it for having multiple people.
No, yeah.
So
That is understandable. Because I
Yeah,
imagine that.
oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say not many games are very good at stable multiplayer.
Mm-hmm. They seem to have a bit of a trouble with it, don't they?
I mean, the speed of light is only so fast.
Really? I'd never have guessed.
It's just an excited puppy.
Yeah, I know. Unfortunately, I'm not awake enough for excited puppy. Dude, fork it over. Spit it out. Mine, not yours.
Okay, now. They're all connected that way, aren't they? It's fine. Actually, let's do this a different way. See, there's that paint gun error again. Do you see it, Luna?
Yeah, I see it. Clients can't relay packets.
Yeah, so
Energy low.
4. No.
I was about to say, why am I dead? And then I realized, yeah, you already explained why I'm dead.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, a mercenary found us, and he agreed not to tell the pirates where we were as long as we let him collect his bounty.
Yeah. Sorry, you had to go.
Wow.
Well, we're trying to avoid the pirates. Seriously.
I'm hearing a bunch of hogwash.
Mm-hmm.
We learned from the best.
I'll stop paying attention to Zorok.
No, we don't want that. Go away.
I was literally about to start freaking out. A couple of blocks of my ship hadn't spawned in yet,
Hmm.
and it literally looked like there was a hole in my ship.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Okay, the new custom turret control modules really add a lot to the bridge.
Do they?
Yeah, they look really good. I like them.
Awesome.
Mm.
Okay, that will work. Is 3 cargo containers going to be enough?
No. 3,000? Maybe.
3 medium or 3 large?
3 medium.
3 medium will do for now.
Yeah.
It is weird walking on the wall of my ship.
Yeah.
Not even on the ceiling, the wall.
The wall. Do it this way. Get rid of no. Go away. Thank you. So I'm using sorters to actually pull out of the drills.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Well, I don't particularly want to use scripts. So the link between the cargo containers and the drills are actually sorters, not conveyor junctions.
Ah,
And they'll all be set to pull ore. So that'll literally suck the drills dry straight up into the cargo containers.
Have sorters always had inventory?
Yes.
Okay, I couldn't remember. I haven't used sorters in a while.
Yeah. Well, it looks ugly, but it will do the job. Just needs to shave the ice from above. Okay, now.
From above.
From above. No, not that one. That one. Oh, there's a standing helm now.
Yep. That's the DLC,
Yeah, I know.
which is nice. But it's not airtight. Unless you
No,
build a
it's
teeny
not.
tiny little airtight room that you stand
You
in.
stand in, yeah.
And they do have doors for small ships now, so if you really wanted to, you could make a little cockpit in that place.
Damn it, they needed decent cockpits that have actually got connectors the right way around.
Yep.
Because the only cockpit that I can use that actually works is the fighter cockpit, because it's got the large connector on the back.
Yep.
Fine, I'm using a fighter cockpit. It's going to be a fighter drill ship.
I'm doing one ugly drill ship.
Well, yeah.
With the way that you got it arranged, you could always go from the top here and have the industrial cockpit. You could use the small conveyors from the top.
Maybe.
No, it's just a suggestion. The
Yeah,
fighter.
no,
cockpit
I've
fine.
been umming and ahhing about it, to be honest.
Yeah.
The thing is, the industrial cockpit, I'd probably put it on the side here,
Mm-hmm.
centered to the side. Actually, that might work better.
Oh yeah.
Oriented
The
like
nice thing
that,
is yeah.
because then that gives me access to the two conveyor ports at the top here that I can then pipe into the top of this cargo container.
Yep.
Just means docking up's going to be left all right, but that's fine.
Do you want me to extend the other docking port up there on the terminus?
No.
Okay.
The ship itself is not going to extend much further than that, so just a connector on the side of that should snap onto that up there quite fine.
Perfect.
Quite cleanly.
Yep.
I mean, I prefer this cockpit anyway because you've got better visibility down.
Oh yeah. You even have visibility up.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
yes,
just
you do
prefer
have
that one
visibility up
because
like
it's
others.
just better looking than the others.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it is that too, yeah. I'm going to put a battery there and it's not what I wanted it. Thank you.
There it is, you just don't know it.
So we'll go a battery there and there. That way it doesn't obstruct visibility. Well, not enough to worry about.
Do you want to put one large reactor on this just so you have power generation?
That's what I'm thinking. Because well, see, because this needs to be a bit of a heavy lift, ions may not actually cut it. So it might have to be hydrogen. At least for the lift thrusters. So two small hydrogen I think will be sufficient to supplement ion. So the primary power I think will have to be ion.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, a reactor.
What's the new DLC large reactor look like on the?
Good question. On the small grid, I'll have to look.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that thing.
Let me just have a look see actually.
Because let's face it, the old large reactor was a complete abomination and should have never been created.
You mean it's just a large grid reactor shrunk down?
Yeah.
I like mine better because it applies to both large and small grid, but
Yeah.
yes, essentially.
Yes, essentially. Let's just finish. Oh, come here. Okay, need some power cells. Finish it off. Okay, I'm just going to scoot up here actually. Yeah, I do have ammo. Okay. Alright, well there's basic power on there. Let me just have a look at this reactor. Did I grab the reactor? I didn't grab the reactor. Large warfare reactor. That's the one we're referring to, yeah?
Yep.
Do you want to look at my stream? So I'm not going to
I'm
place it.
technically looking at both of the streams, but there is a bit of a delay because of the fact that I'm
Error.
looking at both of them.
Because if you have a look, see.
Oh. They added the new skin with the DLC. That's why there's the paint gun error.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't. Yeah, I think he has to. The mod author
Update.
has to put in
Yeah.
that they that skin exists.
But if you have a look at my stream when it catches up, that is the new large warfare reactor.
Right now, it's got a annoying purple screen up at the moment. I got 9 seconds before it goes away. I'm watching multi-Twitch,
Yep.
so I can watch both.
Oh.
monitors.
That is really annoying, that screen.
That actually looks a lot better than what I thought it was going to look like.
I have to admit, I don't
It's
know
not
whether
great.
I like it or not, to be honest, but that's just... I'm sort of at two minds.
It'll
about it.
be easier to work into builds. Let's just go with that.
Potentially, yeah. You can put it. You'll be able to build it in line because the conveyor ports are top and bottom. So
Yeah.
you'll be able to put them in line, for example, like this. 1, 2, 3.
Streaming. I am a big fan of the turret spotlights. The model I'm not 100% on, but
I'm not sure about it, to be honest. You notice the last couple of DLCs, they've gone with this real round, bally concept design.
mm-hmm.
Right, the hydrogen tanks, the storage containers, things like that.
Yep.
But then again, the other large grid one is just that. It's just a large grid, shrunk down to small grid, large.
Yeah, it's a little hideous.
Energy critical.
Little. Alright, let me just fix my energy up before lights turn off.
I just realized
Mm-hmm.
with the new offset passenger seats, I can actually fix Rosie. And I know it's a little bit of a spoiler for the stream, but
That's right. If you look at my stream at the moment, you will see the large grid version of the new reactor. I like it.
Well, I'm just seeing the small grid version of your reactor, but
We'll keep watching. I've rotated it a couple of times as well, so you see it from all sides. But actually, I like it. It's got a real industrial feel.
Nice. Well, yeah. Since we're on this,
It's got stairs. It's got a little walkway around it.
yeah. Since we're on this planet, that oh shoot! All of a sudden, I forgot the name.
Planetoid.
Rogue Planetoid.
Yeah.
We can use the other models for the assembler and refinery, and I guess we can now use
Go with more of an industrial build.
Yeah.
Yeah, more of an industrial, but with gravity kind of build.
Well, yeah. When
'Cause-
you have a look at this thing, I actually like it.
I mean, it looks like way fucking bigger than the original, but
It's not. It's only still 3x3x3.
still looks bigger. But it looks better.
Yeah. Hell
I'll give
yeah.
it that much.
It looks
At
really
least
nice. It's got the walkway around. It's got the large conveyor port at the back.
Now you don't just be making me want to have the DLC. You suck.
You're welcome. And it's got a large conveyor port on top too. Look at that. And one on the bottom? Yes, one on the bottom. So we've got the back, the top, and bottom. So it's got tons of conveyor ports to it. But I actually really do like that. That's really nice. I like the model of it. It's really nice.
I'm a firm believer in electrocuting caledon.
What did I ever do to you?
You're flashing new toys in front of me that I don't have.
Oh, what's this small one look like? Well, the small one's just... It's interesting. It's only got two conveyor ports on it. It's on the bottom and on the back, by the looks of this. What they consider bottom and back anyway. It's a ball inside a casing with some heavy duty wiring at the bottom of it. You'll see it on the stream when it catches up. No, I want the small grid version, thank you.
What now? Oh. Oh. Thank you, Lunar. Now I can make all sorts of broken abominations that you have to go in and greeble to make them look at least somewhat tolerable.
Are you giving him new toys?
I may have. I don't have access to them yet since I'm in the game. I have to download them. But
Yeah, we'd have to pop out and do the downloady bits.
and it would take like 2 seconds to download. So
Maybe a little bit more.
yeah. Oh.
Not much more though. It didn't take all that long.
They usually don't. And that's about the one perk to Keen's little micro
They're micro DLCs, yeah.
Micro.
DLCs.
I'll be honest. These DLCs are more along the lines of what I kind of expected for like Fallout and such when they introduced the Creation Club.
Yes.
We don't talk about the Creation Club.
I know. You're probably gonna want you have power.
Yeah.
I am not sure how I feel about this reactor. I like it and dislike it simultaneously.
I'm exactly the same. I'll be honest with you.
Which reactor?
The large,
one.
the small grid large version.
Yeah. It feels like it's missing something. That's what I'm getting from it.
Yeah, it's very light.
You know what I feel like it's missing?
A solid
glass
gold
casing.
Cupid doll.
A glass casing, yes.
but I have a feeling that's
Mhm.
what was created, and someone said no, that feels too like a warp core.
Maybe, because if you have a look at this small...
You're talking about for the thing that's on Caledon's little ship, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, the reactor.
Yeah, a glass casing would have made it fit a lot better.
It would, and the glass casing would have then merged into these bits that are jutting out, which could have still been there. They could have been embedded in the edge of the glass.
Mm-hmm. It almost feels like that was the intention,
But they've removed the
But-
glass, yeah.
but they removed
Oh,
the
the
glass.
Caledon. I have found out that streaming Are We Lost is not going to be possible for me at this point because
Oh, okay.
even with me not having OBS running, I am chugging really hard.
That's
That's
not
weird.
good. That's not good, man. It's understand. It's understanding.
It's kind of irritating to the point of me wanting to scream bloody murder at Keen and possibly go murder Keen, but unfortunately, I have no means of going there, and that's just way too much work. So
Yeah, a bit,
I'm gonna
Yeah.
pass.
yeah, a bit too much work.
Yeah, and I'm kind of frustrated for you as well because that card that you're running now, I ran SE on that without any problem-ish. But I don't know. That's just weird.
It's frustrating, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. Can understand that.
Because that card handled so much, and now it seems like, because when we were looking at it, it seems like a lot is being pushed onto your poor CPU, which games shouldn't be doing.
No.
I wouldn't be trying to view the channels if I didn't know about that, you stupid dum-dums.
You're getting that purple blue fucking screen again about you're not on
Oh.
Twitch.
No. Migrating the actual feed over to my iPad, that way I can still watch what's going on your guys' end, but see if closing down Twitch or all the Twitch crap on my computer will help.
Help, yeah. Might as well put one on each side because that'll be useful. Okay, I've got 4 hydrogen thrusters and 4 ion thrusters, small facing downwards. That should give me, I think, enough lift. I think.
There's no such thing as enough lift.
We used to say that, but there are moments that I wonder.
I am the all swirling. There is no such thing as enough lift.
Energy low.
Did you just do the downloady thing, Luna?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't take that long. I mean, because they are micro DLCs, whichever way you look at it. So, and it's not ARC, so you're not looking at multi-gigabytes to be able to download a small patch or a small update or a small DLC.
Really? Multi-gigabytes? ARC? Never. It's more like multi-terabytes.
See, that's the thing
Feels
that
like
I
it.
actually give Keen props for is, well, after seeing how their models leave a bit to be desired, the way that they do textures while also leaving a little bit to be desired is a lot better than some other places that don't know how to compress images to save their life.
It certainly seems that way, doesn't it?
Oh, right, I was working on repairing Zaragi's ship here.
You should work on repairing yours too. Or have you already done that?
Nope, not yet. I bet Zaraki's ship would look good with the new bridge glass on the front.
Hmm. Cackler is back
I
at
said
it.
join, you dum-dum. And that was actually one of the things that I was looking forward to is the new bridge glass because of the way that I do my builds.
Mm-hmm.
It actually works with the way I build.
Oh yeah, just so you know, it's just two options. It is a corner and a slope. Bridge window face, bridge window slope. That's it. Two options.
Yeah, but it's still a heck of a lot more than what I had prior.
Mm-hmm.
And with any luck, it'll help with the not registering as a pressurized environment issue that I'm constantly having because of the way I build my bridges.
Yeah. All right.
Give
back
it
to
your
my ship.
dippy.
Go with a couple of extra ion thrusters pointing down. So that I don't have to rely on hydrogen, which I don't have at the moment, for moving the empty ship. Because the hydrogen are really just additional lift thrusters for when it's actually loaded up. So 6 small ions pointing down for a small grid ship, I think, should be fine in moon gravity here.
Should be.
Alright, so now I need to think of directional thrusters.
Up, down, left, right, left. Jumanji. There.
Jumanji. Wow, you're bringing out the big guns.
I ran out of options. Shut up. My brain went blank, so I just threw Jumanji in there.
Well, it works for me. That's our new term for thruster directions.
Jumanji.
We've got Jumanji. Did you remember the Jumanji direction?
My dog did.
We must not forget Jumanji. I will put some downward thrusters, but they're not really overly required.
Bouncy.
Most of the thruster pack is going to be at the back here, which makes sense. Yeah, so we'll put a down thruster because that way all directions are covered. I got 2 in each direction. I got 4 forward thrusters, 4 reverse thrusters, 2 side thrusters, 1
There's
down.
not enough lift. You
Well,
need more lift.
there's 6 ions plus 4 hydrogen lift thrusters.
You need more lift. You need enough lift so that once you just tap that space bar, you're like,
Sends
"Woo!"
it sends me to orbit.
You're in orbit.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think there's enough lift. At the same time, I'm not 100% sure.
Well, we're going to find out once I weld them up. I mean, I haven't put gyro on here yet, but I'll get to that. I've got room. I've got a couple of spots over here behind the thrusters that I can put gyros in. So I probably will put 2 gyros in, because once this thing is loaded, it's liable to be pretty hefty.
See, my theory is the more I kill myself, the faster my game will actually load the fact that I'm there.
Really? That's an interesting theory.
My grinder was all blurry.
It's still a very interesting theory.
Well, it's either that or reboot the damn game again.
Well, you tell me
Yeah,
how
yeah.
that works out.
And again.
You
And
might-
again.
You might want to turn down some of your settings.
Yeah. You might need to potato it.
Don't you make me potato this shit again. That was abominable.
Might have to.
And,
Well,
and I'll be
no,
honest, this game in Potato is still actually not that bad.
Well, that's true.
It's still at what Lunar had me set it all to.
Yeah. Well, I think we all, because I think you were there, Caledon, as well, as we kind
Yes.
of poked around.
Yeah, tweaking settings and stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
I think Caledon just broke the game. We'll just go with that.
Okay. Someone should sack him.
Well, it beats me taking the blame for it, because we all know that shit ain't happening.
Well,
I'm
of course.
innocent.
Ha! And pigs fly.
They do.
Of course
Just
they do.
ask Dumbo.
Okay, well, the ion thrusters are peaking, but they're holding it up. So I'm thinking another couple of ion thrusters.
I would say 4 more ions.
Yeah, I was going to put 2 on each side.
Or
That's what I was
going
gonna
to
suggest.
I'm going to put them here next to these central ones. Oh, that's not where... You turd, go away. And that's just without the hydrogen kicking in. So the hydrogen thrusters will actually compensate quite a lot.
Yes, but you're probably not going to have a lot of hydrogen at your disposal.
Yeah, see, I haven't even put in an O2 H2 generator or a hydrogen tank in here yet.
Right.
Yeah, I gotta admit, I do like the new searchlights, mostly because of the fact that they'll make it
That's better.
it'll make it a little bit easier for having lights on your ship that you want to be able to redirect.
Yes,
Yes.
agreed. Okay, so let's get rid of that. We want O2 tanky and hydro.
Yes, I know, a paint gun. Knock it off.
codes. Maybe. Maybe that might be better actually. I'm going with the small hydrogen tanks because, like I said, the hydrogen is meant to be just a supplementary. So hopefully it doesn't require a lot. Oh, bloody hell.
Energy critical.
Seriously, game? That's stupid. I'm not even going to bother welding that one up because that's just stupid.
What happened?
Oh, I'm trying to place down an O2H2 generator. But the snap location is in the center and not on the conveyor ports.
What?
Yeah.
I thought they fixed that.
Nope. And since there was nothing to support it in the center, why is my energy so bloody low? Yeah, that's alright. Oh, my O2 generator.
All right, Lunar.
Tanks
There we go.
out.
Have a look-see. I swapped the bridge glass out for the new bridge glass.
Oh, nice. Give me a second.
Yeah, me too. Let me just hit that button there.
Zoom. Oh, I like it.
I'm also thinking about swapping out the bridge flight seat with the new one.
Oh, the standing one? Yeah, the helm.
Yeah. Because it'll kind of work better with the type of bridge that I have.
Mm-hmm. I like it. I like it a lot.
The only problem is then I gotta go in and redo all the damn settings.
Yep.
I hate that part. Where's the save button? Hey, you gotta admit, that would be nice.
Oh, hell yeah.
A save feature for the way you have your cockpit set up.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Yeah, what I do need. Oh, where is it? If I grab this. Okay.
Yes, I know my energy is low.
It's alright, my daughter's having a fit over here.
It's alright. She's usually having brain spasms about this time.
Yeah, well, same cause.
It's alright. We can just ground her from ever watching YouTube again.
Yeah, it sounds like a plan.
Yeah, that'd totally work.
Absolutely. There'd be no problem with that at all.
No, she'd be perfectly happy with that.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, what we'd do is I'm actually going to go with put a second lot of tanks actually, just to give it a little bit extra supplement. Like that. And patch it in that way, like that. Now, it'll be only after I start mining ice that I'll actually be even be able to use my hydrogen and stuff. Because I don't believe we've got any ice at all. Alright, it ain't pretty, but it should function.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda, Georgie.
Exactly. Now, just make sure I've got these named. No. Well, okay, deposit. Fine. Connector. Left.
I now have the new spotlights on my ship.
Sweet.
Or searchlights.
Yeah. Knew what you meant. Okay, ion thrusters. Here, come here. Info. And yes, folks, that's what I named it. Okay.
I know what your thing is missing.
Yeah?
Squirrel.
Gyroscope 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Here we go.
There we go. Now Zaraki and or I can join you.
Oh, extra seats. Excellent.
I don't want to drive him. Have you ever seen his driving?
There's nothing wrong with my driving.
It's not his driving I have an issue with. It's when you let him near the AI systems.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Good point.
Don't know what you're talking about.
We're talking about your inability to properly manage AIs,
Ha.
which is what you were originally hired. Hired.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was
yeah.
hired.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if he was hired or if we just kind of took him from somewhere and was like, "Here, you do this now."
No, he was hired.
He was tired.
I'm very tired.
No, yeah, I will fully admit this large warfare reactor feels like it's missing like heavy duty bulletproof glass
Yes.
around the reactor.
Around the reactor itself, yeah. And drain all. Okay, so that's all that. Obviously, I'm a little OCD because I need to make sure that things are named correctly.
Well, It's part of that is especially given the number of ships that we've got, so that way you can identify things and not turn off someone else's thrusters.
Yeah, well, I always prefix my thruster groups with the name of the ship.
Yep, I've been starting to do
I've
that
gotten
myself.
into the habit of doing that as well.
There's some of my ships that I have actually gone through and I've prefixed everything with even just standard blocks with the name of the ship.
Mm-hmm. It's a good idea.
Okay. So, new terminal setup.
Nice. Oh, that looks so good.
It looks better considering the fact that this is a freaking tiny bridge to begin with.
It is.
This at least makes it feel like there's some space in here.
Mm-hmm. And you could, if you want to, even replace those 2 timers with the new controls for turrets.
You put bench seats even? Really?
Yeah. I want to be comfortable and have something to hold on to.
That's true. Yeah. Okay, so...
He needs the oh shit seats. I mean, seriously, what'd you expect?
Exactly. Switch lock on you, switch lock on you. Groups.
Do you know which block category the turret controls are in?
Yes, they are. They are custom turret control.
Well, we can go up. I'm just going to
Yep,
connect
it
up
looks like you're
here.
going up really good too.
It's doing okay.
You might want a couple extra for stopping going up.
Nah,
No? Okay.
nah. I'm not concerned about stopping. It's the going that's the problem.
Yep. And you can go ahead and set yours to stockpile. Mine are set to output. So.
And no, Lunar, what I was meaning was which stack they're currently in. So, like...
Oh, they're with computers. The
okay. Programmable
programmable
block.
Yeah.
Okay, we want hydrogen tanks. What the fucking hell?
What's up?
What? That is bizarre.
Hmm.
Oh, I was trying to type into the block group name, and the interface was interpreting my key presses, not the input box.
Weird.
Yeah, tell me about it. Anyway, they're probably full. They are full.
Yep.
Doesn't take them long.
Nope.
I will actually turn those thrusters off for the moment, though. Oh, pardon me. And I actually need to go AFK for a couple of minutes, guys, so I'll be back shortly. I'll just hit that button there.
Alright, so what do you think of that, Lunar?
I'm actually going to have to come in and take a look. Give me a second.
Oh, wait. That doesn't work. There is a slight problem with a lack. Well, I mean, I can swap out the blocks that are right above it, but
Oh, with air tightness, yeah. I like it. And your new helm.
yeah, I thought about swapping out the ions on here with the small variant of the new thrust or ion thruster,
Mm-hmm.
but I looked at it and it just there's something wrong with the overall look. In my
Yeah,
opinion.
it wouldn't match with the look of the ship.
Yeah.
You would have to actually build a purposeful ship to match with it.
Okay.
Yeah, you're going to want to swap those out with other blooks.
I know what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. There. What do you think of that?
Ah, nice. I like it. Oh yeah, that matches really good. And the funny thing is I think that decoy is now actually going to work how it should.
Oh,
The
the one that's over by you?
Yeah, the one that's just sticking out.
Yeah.
My ship's too big for a decoy to work. At least not without slapping a bunch of them on.
Part of me wants to have at least one railgun on here, but if I went that route, then it would be a manual load railgun.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I feel the railguns are a bit on the broken side at the moment.
Oh?
The further away you are with a railgun, the more effective it is.
Oh.
The closer you are, the less effective it is.
Really?
Yep. I was shooting that one. Hang on. What was it called? I was doing some testing with the railguns yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
and the closer I had the ship to, or the closer I had the ships to each other, the less effective they were.
Oh, interesting.
I mean, it was a good test to learn about it.
Yeah.
There's even a new predetermined script system
Mm-hmm.
for the flight seats called
Oh,
targeting
nice.
info
Yep. No, yeah. Targeting info. I
and
saw that.
vending machine GUI.
That's been there for a while.
First time I've seen that one.
That one's been around forever. If you come up to the front of the terminus, you'll see one of the new turrets that I'm putting in.
Give me 1 minute.
Well, sorry about that, everybody. I had to get some food organised. I felt like the
How
nourishment
dare
needed.
you abandon us?
I know, I know.
Gonna have to sacrifice your daughter to drunk squirrels now.
Nah, not going to happen.
As penance for her crime of requiring food.
No, I don't think so.
Why not? It'll be funny. Especially if we give the squirrels makeup and teach them how to apply it in the most obnoxious way. Paradise. Okay, back to recharging my suit's hydrogen.
What, you're recharging your suit's hydrogen?
No. Just the default screen for it.
Ah.
Oh, yeah. Can't recharge your suit's hydrogen with all the tanks on stockpile.
Nope. So, Caledon, I'm installing one of the new custom turrets.
Ooh, nice. I see that. Does it make use of the same ammo size?
These are the auto cannons, so it's going to be a different ammo type.
So you have to make some.
Yeah, but basically these are the they're going to be beefier than the Gatling ammo.
Yeah, true.
Okay. That was a little concerning.
Well, I'm going to go and get some ice, or attempt to.
Okay, let us know if you blow up.
I'm sure
I
you
would
hear about
prefer
it.
if you didn't.
I found your turret.
I saw that.
Multiple times. That is so Star Wars themed.
Mm-hmm.
But it's effective.
Mm-hmm.
So since I can't get too close without it freaking out, what type of fixed weapons are those?
These are the autocannons. They are not available for as a turret for large grid, which is why I am making up my own.
Yeah.
They only have the cannons for large grid. We either have Gatling, missile, or cannon, not the smaller autocannon, which is sad.
And you have it on a hinge.
On a rotor.
Well, I mean, yeah, hopefully the hinge is going to be stable enough for it.
It is. I've tested it. Not in single player, not in multiplayer yet. So that's kind of.
I'm referring to in general since they broke the damn things.
I think this update mostly stabilized them.
Did anyone else hear the hesitation in the mostly?
Don't know what you're talking about. I do foresee a small problem in ice gathering, though.
What's that?
Well, so far I went 4 kilometers and I ran out of ice. So I'm not sure how big this actual ice patch thing is. So I'm just skirting around the edge of it to see how far it goes. I mean, I could have just gone to the short edge.
We are on the edge of it, so probably. Shall we now?
Yeah, I have to say, after getting the warfare thing, it's been a little more skittish for me, bouncing back and forth a little bit more than I was before. Which is weird. And I wish the paint gun would leave me alone. All right, before I go any further with welding, let me give this new turret a test. Helps if I'm in the right orientation.
This patch appears big to us, but we have to realise that the planetoid's reasonably small, so it's probably not as big as we hope. I'm 8 kilometers away and I'm at the edge of it again. So I'm continuing to skirt around it.
All right, looks like I got it working.
There's something I forgot to put on here. An ore detector.
Oh, yeah. Slightly
Yeah,
important.
I hear those.
Kind
help.
of be helpful, yeah. It's just that I don't want to harvest any of this ice within too close to where we are, just so that it doesn't cause voxel issues and load issues and shit.
Yeah.
I mean, that is more for your sake, Zaraki, because it seemed to be causing you a lot of rubber bandy issues, yeah. Okay, it appears as if this ice patch is only about 10 kilometers across.
Interesting.
I'm 2 kilometers away from where you guys are here, and I've got up to 8 kilometers on the other side.
I blame Lunar.
I blame him too.
Yeah, he's nothing but
Yeah.
a troublemaker.
Right?
I know, right?
And he has this thing for eating weird things, so there was that.
So I am going to end up redesigning that turret, but I just wanted to do a proof of concept with it. Make sure it runs well in multiplayer.
Fair enough. I actually think I can see the top of your ship from here, actually, Luna. I'm 3.3 kilometers away. About to find out.
All right, it works. My main problem is the controls, at least for the hinge, are reversed. And there's no way to change that.
Well, that's weird.
So you push up to go down and down to go up.
Oh, okay. That's actually quite common.
Yep.
He has inverted controls. What a monster.
I know, right?
It's very interesting to see our ships coming over the edge of the crater here.
I bet. Zoom.
Yep. All right. Welcome back.
Thank you. And I've put an ore detector on here now, so...
Oh, nice. I had to chase a metal grid all the way down my ship. I know I built it as you were leaving, and I'm tearing it down as you're coming back.
Yeah, well. Yeah, this ice patch is only 10 kilometers across. And I have no idea what's on the other side of the planetoid because it's in pitch blackness, because there's no light over there, of course.
Interesting.
For all we know, the whole other side of this planetoid could be ice, but we can't see it. I mean, I doubt that, but you get the idea.
Yep. Alright, I have a completely new design here. Well, fairly new design. Because the last turret that I had, the custom turret that I had up here, was stuck up really high.
Yeah.
Yes, paint gun, I know. I know.
Ooh.
Hmm.
That paint gun error keeps coming up more frequently now.
I see that. I don't think that's a good thing.
It's a weird thing.
Agreed.
Just trying to decide what I'm going to do ice-wise now. I wasn't really aware that this ice patch was as small as it is, really. It looks a lot bigger from space.
Yeah. Well, this is a pretty small planetoid.
That's where I think the problem came in, because it was a a perception thing between the size of the patch and the size of the planetoid, so it actually looked a lot bigger. I mean, it takes up like a third of the landscape when in orbit.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just a perception thing. So I think that's what threw us.
Yeah, probably.
It means I suppose should go scouting in space.
Well, fly safe.
Well, I'm actually just thinking whether that's going to be what I'm going to do, or whether we should I should close off my stream. I'm sort of I have two minds at the moment. What's going on? Because that's going to take time. It's going to take quite a bit of time.
Oh yeah. I want to at least get this first custom turret up and running.
Oh yeah, I understand that.
It's a little uglier than the first turret I built.
No, it just looks heavy duty.
Yep.
Huh, that was close.
Asteroid.
No, ground.
Ah, Well, next week I think I'm going to scout back along the path of this planetoid. If we've got an ice cluster here, there may be ice debris or debris of some sort in its path. So, see if we can find ice that way.
Makes sense.
Which is surprising considering not much makes sense at the moment in this place.
No.
Yeah, well, my theory is looking at the size of this ice patch on the surface here, it is just on the surface. Maybe it's a result of an impact with a comet or something, so there might be debris out there.
Most likely, especially if it went through the system we just came from.
That's what I'm thinking, so. And there's not enough on the surface here to account for the size of the impact area, because it's obviously a big round impact area, so hopefully I'll be able to find some larger chunks out there, but I'll worry about that next week. Might have to build a little scout ship for it, specific for it, or maybe I can take Clipper here, I don't know.
Where do you think I've been this entire time?
Yeah, well,
But to be fair, only one scout ship ain't gonna cover much ground out here,
exactly.
especially with as dark as it is. And so far, I haven't come across any ice. So I could just be, or not be far enough down, far enough away.
In the right location, yeah, the usual things.
Yep.
Here we go.
One turret.
The turret is all set. Basically, it has no depression below the 90-degree mark, but that's what the Gatlings are for. They fill in the areas that that thing can't hit.
Exactly.
Has Tim been updated with the new ammunition? Do you know?
I don't know at all, actually. On a turret, if you put in a TIM tag, left square bracket, TIM space, then write the word ammo, and then close off the bracket, TIM will convert ammo over to the relevant ammo type if it's aware of what it is. I'm going to hazard a guess that it hasn't been, but you never know.
Nope, it's already been updated.
Nice.
Yeah, you just type in auto and it fills in autocannon. So now we have some pretty heavy defense.
Awesome.
All right. Aiming up into space, weapons test.
Okay. Thankfully, that was not in the direction I was coming in from.
No, yeah. All right, weapons test complete. When in doubt, DACA out. Yeah, this is turning into a fairly heavily armed cargo ship.
As all cargo ships should be.
Mm-hmm. I totally haven't had bad experiences in a cargo ship before.
Nah, you just need shields that'll last for centuries, that's all. Unfortunately, that usually entails turning your ship into a giant reactor. Okay, so I'm gonna bring my little shuttle down, Lunar.
Mm-hmm.
And if you wouldn't mind, since you're not nearly as laggy and jolty as I am, redocking it to your ship.
Yeah, not a problem. Yeah, I am glad I was aiming a different direction.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That would have been bad if I did hit you.
Well, especially when you factor in the lights.
Mm-hmm.
Which, Caledon, when you get a chance, would you mind updating your mod to include the searchlights?
Oh, I can see about doing that.
Because I figured they would be good for over in No Man's Land.
Mm-hmm.
True.
So, man, you would actually be able to have a crew on board and have people on spotlights looking around.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There you go, Lunar.
Dankeschön.
And I finally found the missing block that was still smoking.
So this is now a non-smoking ship.
Yes.
She does drift very heavily.
Well, she's only got 2 thrusters for side thrust. And if you turn the hydrogens on, then it should be fine. So just hit one.
Oh, no, it's fine.
But it's like, as long as I'm not near any of these structures, then I smooth out. But the second I'm near structures, I chunk out.
Interesting.
So I'm wondering if there's one of the mods in one of the structures that's causing the problem.
It might be the airlocks.
Let me go through passageway. Now let me log off so I can go to the restroom. I'll be back.
Okay.
I mean, I
All
really
right, there we
hope. I really hope Keen have actually fixed that bug that they had at one stage there, where connectors would disconnect on boot up of a server.
Mm-hmm. Why do you
Because
think
the number of
landing
ships?
gear? Yeah. Why do you think the landing gear is engaged on Zerakis?
Yeah, well, I don't have that option for my two ships.
No. Yeah.
So if we come back and they're on the ground and they're in pieces, well, we know what happened.
Why not just do that?
Yeah, and attach it how?
That was the next thing I was going to look for. Oh, you can attach it to the underside of Zeraki's ship over here.
Yeah, I want it on the connector though.
Oh, yeah.
It's no dramas. I'm pretty sure they've actually fixed that bug. I haven't seen a repeat occurrence of that for a long time. So I think the save game actually retains state. But it's still good to have the pad sitting there. I can use it to dock to lock it to an underside of something, like a bat.
Mhm. Yep. And it doesn't stick out like a sore thumb or anything either.
No, that's right.
Well, that means we can rig up a dock for you as well that involves
Exactly.
you docking up like that.
Yeah.
Now give me all your chocolates.
No.
No.
Greedy little bastard.
However, I agree. I think I'm going to call my stream there actually. So
Yep, I'm going to deposit all the stuff I have on me.
find a bunk over here in this big behemoth.
Well, my ship ain't good enough for you anymore? Now you're sleeping in lunars?
No, this is the behemoth I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's big and green.
Well, you said behemoth. Lunar's ship is the behemoth.
Nah. Go away. Yes, okay. Let me just dunk all my stuff in this. And jump into there.
I might retrofit each cabin to be
And folks, thank you for stopping by. I hope you found it quite enjoyable. What am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. Stay tuned next week when we go searching for some ice. Hopefully we will find something useful. I'm pretty sure, like I said, we're sitting in at the edge on what looks like an ice impact against the planetoid, so it has to have hit something. I just hope that it's nearby as opposed to thousands of kilometers away. So yeah, that we'll find out next week. Until then, happy engineering, and I'll see you next time.
Signing out as well.